I need to be able to sustain while he's yelling. I want to know what you think about this. This is from a chat that I'm in. And I've got concerns about it. And it's probably not the concerns that you think. I need to be able to stay in state, while he's yelling. You're imagining up the problem continuing and then surviving the problem that continues. Let's call that persist. And that's how most people, there's what's called the persistence problem. What the hell? Let's make this official. My name is Mr. 2020. This is the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing and one thing only, the wonder-working power of the human imagination. Let's dive in. The persistence problem is this. You imagine a problem that you have to persist against. And what people who love each other do is they don't imagine surviving one another. What they're open to is stretching one another. And I know this ain't what everyone wants to hear. But you got to remember, I'm an ex-cop, and I've been teaching this stuff for over 25 years. I had PTSD. I've been in abusive relationships. And let me tell you something. You got to have rubber meet the road. In other words, Neville Goddard says, if you believe, you will not pass another without lifting their cross. You get to imagine him happy, accomplished, satisfied. You know I love that Holy Trinity, right? Ownership, accomplished, satisfied. People who experience ownership, accomplishment, and satisfied are not mentally abusive, right? So you get to imagine them that way, even when they can't. They may or may not accept the wish, the gift. Neville's very clear about this. But what the hell? It'll end your hell. Because if you can, and here's the imaginal act, I'm happy, you're happy. And I don't believe in letting you suffer. And I don't believe letting you imagine that you have to sustain while he's yelling. That's not a good imaginal experience. You're imagining the problem, continuing and surviving the problem until it no longer continues. Well, until something no longer continues. Whether it's you, the relationship, or him, this doesn't end good if you just imagining persisting what you perceive as resisting. So the persistence problem is pretty easy. You imagine resistance, and then you persist against it. And a lot of people think that's what Neville meant, and it ain't. If you honestly believe you will not pass another without lifting their cross, as far as I can tell, the best little formula, I imagine her. Ownership, accomplished, satisfied. But here's the kicker. I imagine what I would experience when I'm at the pool and my friend Paul says, "How is Victoria?" And I tell him about what she just did in the garden. Ownership, accomplished, satisfied. That's lifting her cross. And that's what people who love each other do. Otherwise, if you're imagining him continuing to be yelling, you're condemning him and you to that. Don't do that. So, my name is Mr. 2020. This is the Power of Imagination podcast, where we explore one thing and one thing only, the wonder-working power of human imagination. Today, we've explored why Neville says that you will not pass another without lifting their cross, and why the persistence problem just creates more problems to persist against. And what did Neville really teach? Go to howtofeelitreal.com, howtofeelitreal.com. We put together 7 little videos that fix the common mistakes that people are making, especially the AI coaches. You're talking to a real guy, not AI. Have a great day. howtofeelitreal.com. See ya.